point, I'm ready to impress my bride and say, watch what a real home improver can do. Right?
That's what, that's what Chip and Joanna, before they demo the wall, Chip says, hey, Joanna, watch what a real home improver can do. I sent you a text saying, heading to the bar in about 45 minutes. The response I got, I don't know how you got that pipe back on with a wrench, but it is not effing budging at all. So I'm hoping that was frustration in the moment and that it wasn't anger.
No, definitely not anger.
Directed at me.
Definitely not anger.
Okay.
So let's talk for a moment, Steve, if we could quickly interject about righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You are now, according to Bob time, you're running 2.5 hours behind schedule.
Yeah. And we're only 3 hours into the project. So we're somehow 2.5 hours behind. Yeah. We're only 3 hours in.
Yeah.
That's how you get things done, man. You can't meet expectations if you don't fail miserably first and have to reevaluate the expectations.
Every time.
Every single project.
Every time I've asked you for help is important to be said. And every time I appear to try to do things on my own, as we found out last week, every time you must fail. And it's important to say that
many times.
Yeah, and it's important to say that in hindsight, because otherwise I'm going to feel worse about everything than I did at the time even. So, boy, didn't even realize, Steve, how much of the podcast those two topics last weekend dominated.
That was it.
That was it.
That was you installed a dishwasher. I worked on a Jeep.
Yeah.
Bam. So, 2 hours later.
I did kind of feel bad. Obviously, a bit of a different episode where we narrowed in on two topics that may have been a little too... a
little too close. A little too close to us.
Maybe. But I still enjoy... It was important to say because... The DIY failures at my home and on my personal level have been long stewing, and apparently there's this insatiable internet demand for updates on that four-wheel shell you've got outside in the garage.
Four-wheel shell?
Oh, sorry.
It's I thought about driving it yesterday.
Would you prefer carcass with no headlights?
You know something? I'm actually going to pull up a picture of it now so you can see the...
oh, God.
You can see what you just insulted.
This is going to be like that guy at work who just had a kid.
Yeah.
So everybody at Steve's work now for the next 2 weeks is going to get to see
look at that,
quote, baby pictures. Hey, that's a Jeep.
Yeah. It's the whole front end's put back together.
Now, you haven't done anything yet where you've decided something crazy like you did with the last Jeep. Let's drop a new motor in it. Or
no.
I don't like the paint color, but I'm going to do it myself.
No, not yet.
Okay, maybe maybe you can decide something you know what I want, 2-inch bigger windshield, and you just redo the whole body and bend it out and fit that 2-inch.
Yeah. It'll be like the old episodes of Pimp My Ride.
Yeah.
Where I decide I really like ping pong. I think that I'm going to have to turn this into the ping pong themed Jeep.
Yeah.
So when I pull over on the side of the road, I then hit a button and the top opens up and then there's a ping pong table in there.
Well, it's like that. Wow, what was it? Extreme Home Makeover, was that the show?
Yeah.
Ty Pennington before he got drunk and drove.
But
you remember,
coming back. I heard he's making a big comeback.
I think he's coming back on that because aren't they reviving that Trading Places?
Trading
remember
Spaces.
That? Was that Trading what it was? Trading Places was the movie.
Was the movie, yeah.
So Trading Spaces coming. I thought he was coming because that's where he started as a contractor on that show.
All right.
But
I can't wait.
But it's like that show where they would ask the kids, hey, what are some of your hobbies? 'Cause I don't know. The daughter kind of like horses. So then they come home and they've got a pony in their room taking a dump everywhere with pony hair instead of beads in a hippie's room. It's like horse hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you sleep your bed is shaped like the outside instead of a race car. It's a pony.
It's a horse. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have spurs everywhere. We get it. Just because the child said I kind of like horses doesn't mean you need to make a horse house.
No.
At some point you have to understand the resale resellability
resale value
of a home
that is shaped like a pony.
Yeah, in 3 years, when someone comes through and goes, maybe we'll use this as the master, and they open it, and there's a dead horse because they couldn't get it out of the room. It's like a chip in a bottle. They built the room around the horse.
Too big.
Yeah. And they realize that, no, they don't. Instead of a rocking chair, a saddle isn't equivalent. You're never going to sell that house.
Yeah, no.
Those are always the best stories. These families down on their luck. And they'd always send them to Disney World for a week, and then they'd get home.
And then they come home, and their house is worth 6 times what it was. So, their mortgage is paid off, but their taxes have now replaced their mortgage.
Yeah, their property taxes are now, again, 6 times what they used to be.
Yeah.
What a great system.
Boy, what
Hard
a show.
to see how that failed.
What a show that was. And Sunday, March 4th, 2018, the year of our Lord. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast. 10:25 in the morning, hitting the microphones a little bit later today.
Yeah. I don't think people realize that we do this in the early morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, early morning hours.
And I woke up late today because usually we're recording or we're sitting down around 9:30, 9:35 to get this thing done.
I almost sent the we're still on for today, right? Text, because it was like 9. I think you sent me a text at like 9:45 saying you were on your way. But at 9, because Annette looked at the clock, she's like, no, it's 9:40. Are you guys recording today? I'm like, man, I think we are. Like, I don't remember saying that we weren't, but it all works out because about 1 minute before that, I opened up the Notes app on my computer just to write a couple things down, and I realized that I have that eternal note in there called Fast 5.
Oh, right.
That's just, I update it every week. And hadn't been updated since last week when I deleted everything off of it that we talked about, and I thought, well, look at that. Fast 5.
Would it help you if on my phone right now I scheduled a text to you? Because you remember you had to send a text to me, what was it, a month ago to get ready, to get my zingers ready before your wedding.
For the wedding.
Would it help you if I sent a reminder text like every Saturday saying, get your Fast 5 done? Or would it be better with Friday? But then, I'm afraid if I do it Friday or Thursday,
too early.
You're going to forget about it.
I think Saturday, Saturday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, so you don't, because my idea was to use this text as your alarm. So I would I would send it every Saturday at like 7:15 in the morning. Because that way you'd jump out of bed and say, I got to get going on it, honey. Like, no, you go back to sleep. I'll brew the coffee.
Yeah, that would be great. I'd love that. I'd love that wake up text. Yeah, no.
You get a charge out of the day, man. You can get going. Right? Tackle it.
Uh-huh.
By 8 o'clock, you already feel accomplished because you've already got a task checked off on the big to-do list for the day, which, knowing this house, no doubt would include sunroom installation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we are gluttons for punishment around here. We have underway with another project.
Yeah.
But so far, we haven't done really any of the work. We hired...
But that is about to change.
Oh, it's all about to change. Yeah, we hired our old buddy Rusty, the softball...
The local softball drunk?
The team drunk.
That's so unfair, by the way. It needs to be said. He is not. He's a guy who has a drink at the games.
I know.
Like, I guarantee you everybody else does.
He has a drink in the size container like I'm holding right now. It's
like a 20-ounce mug.
Yeah, about a 20. I don't even think his is this big. Granted, he's got a bit of a heavy hand when he pours it because I tasted it one time and it was like kerosene.
Well, that's the problem. So you tasted it. You didn't know that his container is straight liquor.
Yeah,
and then he has like an iced tea that he shoots it with.
Right. Yeah, he's got like an Arnold Palmer.
Yeah. So he's trying to keep healthy. He's going half tea, half lemonade, probably a 0-cal option.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
But yeah, no. Just so everybody knows, he is not the local drunk. He has children. He is, by all intents, a great father.
Yeah, he is. He actually. We have hired him to paint our living room because I don't want to have to go out and either buy or rent scaffolding or like a ladder that gets up into the high part of the ceiling. I just no desire to do it.
Just between you and I, has he been drinking?
Lola, what are you doing down here?
Oh,
boy. Oh, this is a whole other thing we got going on with Lola here too.
Has he been drinking while he paints?
Oh, has he? I can't tell you how much he's not been drinking.
Oh boy, I feel like we need to have an intervention.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, we hired Rusty to paint the living room. Plus, there's one wall in the living room that it was wood.
Mm-hmm.
Like wood.
I believe
slats.
the fixer-upper term, Steve, is shiplap.
Oh, that is not shiplap.
How dare you? When you sell this house, again, when you get a whim in about a year.
Once we finish everything we want to do.
You write in that listing that is a shiplap wall, because you're going to have...
Well, if you want to get technical, shiplap is wider planks.
Okay.
And they're horizontal.
Listen.
Ours, the previous owners, since they decided to do everything wrong, they put them diagonally, which not a huge fan of, but not big enough, not a fan of it to rip it all down.
Listen, you want to sell this house, you write in the listing, shiplap. You're going to have women from late 20s to early 40s offering you crazy money over list price to get a half of a shiplap wall because Joanna did it once.
Yeah, with their Joanna Gaines T-shirts and Magnolia, this and that.
I don't think there's a house in Waco, Texas, in the neighboring towns, without at least 2 walls worth of shiplap.
Yeah, and signs that talk about shiplap.
Yeah,
and T-shirts that say "I love shiplap."
Yep.
Yeah, so we hired Rusty to do the dirty work because
smart guy's a pro.
He paints. He is a painter. That's what he does. So he came in here, I guess, on Thursday night, and they did a lot of the prep work, like filling holes and everything. And I think I've talked about it, how the woman that used to live here must have gotten stock in the company that makes little tiny 1-inch nails.
Okay.
Because there is no shortage. I bet that they filled 200 holes, maybe 300. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But it looks like our living room has acne because there are so many spots that have been filled and then sanded.
Now, hear me out. Do you think maybe instead of... they sell like those laser tag games that you can use around the house or whatever. Do you think maybe they took it up a notch and decided nail gun fights?
I wouldn't be surprised. There are nail holes everywhere.
Maybe they just had the most stuff hung from all around the house, right? Just, you know what? That's a 3-foot area with nothing there. Slap a nail in it, we're hanging another piece of art.
When you hang stuff up on the walls, typically you hang it at eye level, maybe higher if it's a big picture or something. But why are there nail holes like 2 feet off the floor?
Oh boy.
And they're definitely nail holes. So I assumed when he said, we're going to stop by on Thursday to start doing some of the prep work, I figured they were going to show up, fill some holes, be out of here in an hour. They were here for probably 4 or 5 hours because they ended up doing more than, they started priming one of the walls and everything.
Even your painting is on Bob time.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's 100. Well, he didn't tell me we're only going to be here an hour.
Right, you just assumed.
This was just me thinking, they're going to show up, fill some holes, and be out of here.
Right.
That also, I had drastically underestimated the amount of holes that were in the wall. But when I came up from the basement after they had been up there for like an hour and a half or so doing some work, we were just sitting down in the basement watching TV. I came upstairs. I'm like, what the hell happened? Why are there so many holes in the wall?
Looks like somebody put on face cream or whatever to get all their blemishes. So there's white, everywhere.
Everywhere. And they were here most of the day yesterday, priming some stuff, painting some stuff, and they'll be back tomorrow to do some more work, and it should be done by like Tuesday. But then the real fun begins.
But even painting your house is now at a 4-day project, Steve. Why is it that when you do something and I do something, and when we collectively do something, it can't just be a one-time, few-hour thing as expected?
The only time that happened, and it's very fitting, the last project that we did at the old house, we painted the living room, and that was a project we were both dreading it. We're like, God, it sucks that we have to do work on this house that we're moving out of. The only reason we're painting it is so it looks nice for new people. Annette went out and she picked out a color, bought a gallon of paint, brought it back. We did the first coat, and we were like, all right, well, first coat's on. Let's go eat some dinner, and then we'll come back and do the second coat. And we walked back in after dinner, and we looked at the walls, and we're like, no, looks good to us. Done. Didn't even do a second coat on it just because it came out like it. I don't know if we did it right or if it was just the perfect storm of everything working out correctly.
Yeah, maybe you didn't find out, but Annette bought like that 4-in-1 paint, so it's like 3 coats plus 2 primer coats. It's just the world's thickest paint.
Yeah, it actually reduces the square footage of the room because the walls stick out.
Yeah, it
further.
ends up being an inch thick.
But yeah, figures were like, why can't all the projects, like, why couldn't the projects where we weren't planning on selling the house go this quickly? Like that stupid breezeway that took me, like, I worked on it like 22 out of 24 hours.
God. But look at how good it turned out.
Yeah.
Right? And then you left.
Turned out great, and then we left. So who knows? It might still be great. It might be terrible. But yeah, so next week or maybe the weekend after that, the project of ripping out all the carpet downstairs and starting the flooring. And then once we finish up the flooring, we get to do all the trim.
Oh, my God. Now, in fairness, you have a very optimistic wife. Mm-hmm. She is gung-ho, thinking this thing is going to come up beautifully.
Oh, I think it's going to come up
go
beautifully,
smoothly,
too. Well,
quickly, without incident.
Good one.
And she actually had to tell you, Steve, I don't know if I'm rubbing off on you a little bit, stop being so pessimistic.
Yeah.
So you already know what's coming based on track record and scope of the project. Well,
I know my skill level.
Yeah.
You know, I've done these things before. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
So what's the goal time? So let's say you from rip out to flooring completion, trim completion. Let's talk hours, man hours, just you. You want to get the, like, are we talking 16?
I don't even know how.
2 full days?
To put the floor down?
I mean, the trim's a whole nother issue, but.
Yeah, trim will be a day just in itself. I can only compare it to when we did the floor at the old house. Mm-hmm. And that room was not half the size of what we're doing now, but maybe 2/3 the size. And it took us a full 8-hour day and then 4 hours the next day.
And that was one room?
That was one room.
So,
and that flooring was also, it's just the click lock.
Yeah.
Put it down, lock it in, it's done. This stuff we have to nail down.
And you're going from a 4-foot hallway to what can only be described as a cave, a cavern size room that you then have to do. So sizes are changing. Yeah. It's going to be great.
It's going to be neat.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think when this is done, when you get the trim done, which you get again is a full day, I think I'm going to start every time I come over, like, oh man, you ever thought about like changing that wall color, or you ever thought about
bumping that wall out a couple feet?
Yeah. What's your thoughts on like a different fireplace in here?
No, fireplace is not. That thing is. It's not going anywhere.
I'm just gonna. You know what?
Just gonna plant the seed.
Call me Farmer Kyle. I'm gonna be walking around planting seeds of discord in this house.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, Steve, projects will never end.
Well, that is a definite. Projects will never end. I love this house, but I don't love the amount of work that we have ahead of us.
Yeah. But again, it's not like it's a lot of the work when you bought it that needed to be done. This is all. It's all choice, like it's design choice and personal preference.
Yeah, I don't like old stained wood.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, every room has that as trim. The doors.
So you going to straight white? Maybe bump it up. Going to go like chrome.
Chrome? No, yeah,
like actually stainless steel on that bottom.
I'm gonna cut all the pieces of trim.
Yeah.
Send them off to the chromer.
Yep.
Because they can chrome wood.
Sure. Yeah.
And
it's just it's like that fake. So, within 1 hour, it starts chipping.
Yeah.
But just think, I mean, it would be a unique design choice. I just think you need to keep your mind open, Steve,
to
a lot of options.
Yeah, sure do.
So you go straight white?
Straight white.
Straight white on the trim. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing white trim. But yeah, so we have a lot of work ahead of us in the next couple of weeks. We just committed this morning to Annette's, now my sister-in-law, brother-in-law, and nephew coming here for Easter, which is
hosting a big dinner, huh?
Hosting Easter.
Whoa.
And our goal is to have, I don't know if it'll be totally done, but we want to have it as done as possible. Mm-hmm. So that gives us a month.
Okay.
1 month.
All right. I'm excited. Looking forward to it. So that's done in a month.
Yeah.
So that officially means APS 4.0 kicking off in April, everybody.
Coming April 2019.
Yeah. April 2018, we're kicking off the APS. But what if we start it in April 18 and it just takes a year?
Oh, God, that would be the worst.
Well, not really, because there's no, according to you, there's no rush.
No,
right?
No rush.
So,
I mean, why would we want to move out of here?
I mean, again,
we got the green wall.
It's
we got
too
the blue
large.
wall.
It's a folding table. There's a jumbotron I can't see. Those are literally just the three things within 2 seconds that I can tell you.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you could see it. You would just have to turn a bit.
Okay, hang on. Now, let's do the podcast for a few minutes where I can see the jumbotron.
Okay.
All right. That's a good Jeep.
Well, I mean, you could move the microphone, too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's safe. We found that out.
See that? Look
yeah.
You can even kick your feet up.
Oh, yeah. This is like a super cash now. So when I come in here in 2 weeks now, you're moving your gigantic couch, which people would live on. It's that large.
It's like a boat.
Yeah. You're moving that down here.
Yeah, that's not going to be moved down here yet.
No, okay, but not immediate.
No.
Okay.
Because we're getting a different couch. I don't know when we're getting it, though.
Okay.
And if it's something that we have to order as opposed to something
could
being
be
in
a while.
stock. Yeah, they said yesterday it could be 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, geez.
Because you get, we figure if we're going to get it, the one that they had at the store was very nice and we loved it, but the color would not work because it's way too light. And since we have pets, we don't want something super light that within 1 minute is going to be completely covered with hair or some kind of something spills on it. So we want to get something darker. And they said anything other than that, we basically have to order it.
Oof. So because what's your thoughts on Casual Cast?
Oh, Cash Cast.
You move that lumbering furniture down here.
Yeah. We
hang out on the sectional, kick our feet up, hold these mics in our hands.
Just hold it.
Just hold them.
Yeah, we'll do that, but you have to help carry the couch down here.
Oh, that's fine. Couches are a cakewalk. Is it made of triple stained true mahogany like your stupid bed?
Like the bed. Now, Jeremy did not build this one out of bricks and mortar.
Yeah, again, it's not a ship in a bottle where it was built in your room, so it won't fit anywhere else.
No, it'll make it. Well, I don't know. The bottom of the steps is pretty tight.
No, we've worked with tighter. It'll be fine,
I guess. Yeah, I mean, what are we gonna have to do? Take out a wall?
Yeah. Oh no, not again. And then another project is born.
Done that before.
Yeah, no kidding.
So yeah, let's go back to talking about this Jeep.
Okay, sure. I mean. So
looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it is further along than I thought. I will say that.
Other than a few odds and ends, it's going to the body shop today.
Oh, okay.
Dropping it off this afternoon.
Driving it?
Driving it there.
Hey.
Yeah. Driving it there to the body shop. They're going to work on it this week. Hopefully have it back, I don't know, some point the end of the week, maybe next week. And then I have a few little things. I'm still waiting for some parts to come in for it because
seat belts. Did those ever arrive?
Seat belt is still on its way.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the guy was out of town all week. So,
well, I know, man. I can't. Can you imagine being married to somebody who literally doesn't know where a post office is or how to ship? And plus, let me tell you, this isn't something new, but you can actually schedule a pickup.
Yeah,
where they come to your house.
Yeah,
now.
If there was a certain sponsor that was paying big bucks to be on this podcast, I would be happy to talk about the convenience of buying postage online, weighing it with my scale, and leaving it for Mr. Postman.
Yeah,
but until they cough up the big bucks,
no free rides.
Plus, we have to factor in my absolute hatred for the U.S. Postal Service.
Okay, well, this is going to be The day's going to come in. I legit, this is, again, like the second week in a row, I legitimately don't think we have time because we have a ton of stuff. This is going to have to come to a head. We're going to have to get S. Robbie Mack on the phone.
I don't understand how S. Robbie Mack is so adamantly defending his employer when the one thing that he sent to us showed up completely damaged.
Well, let's talk about this. So now, obviously, we're talking about Steve's hatred of the United States Postal Service.
I don't hate them. I just feel as though they're... sometimes there can be certain letter carriers that have it out for me.
You're talking about your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Case in point. Well, not just an example of how they are not the most efficient organization, the most efficient government organization. Yesterday, I was out in the garage and I heard the sound that I know very well of the little USPS
puttering around
Jeep putter that sounds like a barely better than a golf cart.
Yeah, right.
You hear,
yeah.
So I look outside and I see somebody pull up, put something in my mailbox, drive away. Cool, mail's here. Not 5 minutes later, I look outside. It's a different person in a different post office vehicle, and they pull up to my mailbox and put something in there.
Oh, was it regular mail? Was one regular mail, one like a envelope, like a package or something?
One was something that Annette had ordered. It was in like one of the, like the mailers that we used to send out the T-shirts.
Yeah.
She had ordered some clothes or something.
I wonder if they do that separately, which again does not make any sense.
No.
But I'll see that too, where I'll have like a couple multiple trucks at different times of the day too.
Yeah,
like
but
4 hours difference.
And when I say that they were 5 minutes apart, I think that's more than it actually was.
You were still outside. You still noticed it.
I was still in the middle of doing the same thing I had been doing when the first one went by.
Yeah. Now, in regards to the photograph that arrived damaged of the signed Paul Sr. From Orange County Choppers. Mm-hmm. I think we can all blame that on, and now again, I am the most ardent USPS defender. Mm-hmm. That's user error right there.
Well, it's definitely user error, but the user is a USPS employee,
which means he should have known better when shipping.
You can't just write an address on a piece of glass and put it in the mail.
It was kind of unbelievably shipped it that way. Now, again, thank you for the gift. We always
you remember that how great that noise was?
Oh yeah, it was the shaking, the glass shards rolling from one side to the other. Yeah, it probably should have been better secured.
Mm-hmm. A bit.
And again, we always welcome your gifts for APS 3.0 and more importantly 4.0.
Yeah, yeah, eventually.
So April 2018. Go ahead and message us for that address to where you can send your gifts. We always appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Actually, I believe you have a gift waiting for you.
Do I?
From our listener. Yeah, from listener Nikki.
At the station?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess I'll
off
get that tomorrow.
I actually meant to tell you if you were in the area, if you want to go swing by and grab it. But
I would have, because I was going to be downtown at least one day last week. Because we were off for a couple of days. But yeah, I'll see it tomorrow then.
Now, did she get the new address from you?
I don't believe so.
Oh, boy.
But anything that gets sent to the old address gets forwarded to the new address, which then gets forwarded back to me.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So you might have it.
It's a multi-step process.
So you might have it.
There's at least one person that makes a trip over from the new office to the old dungeon once a day to drop stuff off and pick stuff up.
Good.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's there.
Hopefully. Fingers are crossed.
But yeah, safe to say that the shipping method there used by S. Robbie Mack
Not ideal.
Not ideal. I don't even think there was fragile written on the envelope.
No, it actually said, shake this as much as you can.
Yeah, please put a dishwasher on top of me.
This is an Etch-a-Sketch that needs to be erased.
Yeah.
Shake!
Yeah, it's, these are just random jumbled... they're rollers. I need to see how things roll on top of it.
Yeah. S. Robbie Mack also posted a picture of him in his post office vehicle last week, showing that he was out there doing God's work.
A true warrior, Steve. A true government employee.
I didn't understand exactly what he said, because he said something like, this is how good post office customers are supposed to act or something.
Yeah.
And it was just a picture out the front of his post office mobile.
Yeah, and I think it was based on my United States Postal Service expertise and desire. I'm almost positive it was because of nobody disrespectfully
parking
leaving a Hammer Niner in the way.
But I didn't. I did notice though.
In the way of the mailbox.
You should have at least cropped out the part that makes you seem like kind of a sissy. The sticker on the dashboard that says like "Don't back up whenever possible." Like, come on, man. You guys are so sensitive towards everything. You can't even throw it. Is it too tough to put it in reverse?
Time is money, Steve. USPS is losing money. Do they have time to back up?
Yeah, apparently
probably not. They barely have time to drive forward.
Yeah. The sign says, avoid backing up whenever possible. In the tweet from S. Robbie Mac that said, "Hey Steve, this is an example of good postal customers. Hashtag pro Kyle. Hashtag bad customers."
Yeah. Me and S. Robbie...
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Ban bad customers. So S. Robbie Mac has drawn a line in the sand.
Yeah.
And he is now campaigning to ban me, to put me on the USPS banned list.
Yeah, how would you like that? Huh?
I'd be fine with it as long as I get back the taxes that I pay every year.
How would you like...
Oh, wait, no. I don't think... aren't they... They're... Because I think I've used that argument before, and I've gotten backlash that they are not... I don't think they operate off of like
taxpayer
dollar,
money.
Yeah, taxpayer money specifically. It's like some weird loophole, but whatever.
So, just to equate this, you saying you shake in your fist, say you don't deliver my mail, but I'm paying your salary. Same way with the and you've told me this many a time. Same way with the police officers and the firefighters.
Yeah, that's exactly what
I've
said.
Where you say I don't need you at my house,
right?
If my house catches on, this is a quote.
I got a garden hose.
If my house catches on fire, I got a medium strength hose out front that'll do just as good as you yahoos.
Yeah. The amount of times I've said that.
Yeah, and the police. Oh my God, the things you've said about the police. Where hey, I don't need them sniffing around my neighborhood. I'll defend my own house. Right?
Yep. Yeah, that's what I've said.
And now the USPS.
Now the USPS. That's the only serious one. Keep them out of my yard.
Keep them out of my yard.
Keep them off of my lawn. I don't need your stupid little putt-putt mobile zipping through the neighborhood.
So now you're mad at their cars.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're based off of a Jeep design from years ago, but they've just completely bastardized it.
Sure. So. That's the problem, is that they've modified one of your beloved Jeep designs from, the 60s or 70s, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And you can no longer stand for that. It is kind of crazy knowing, 50% or 40% of the country, the weather they get in the winter, that they still use those things.
Yeah, which are barely golf carts.
With what? Like lawnmower tires?
Yeah. And, so when I get the note from the post lady saying, "Hey, you have to shovel that around your mailbox a little bit more," like, you're basically driving a stroller.
Yeah.
Maybe update the vehicles a bit.
Yeah, you should.
I got to be careful though, because I made another postal lady a little bit mad on Twitter. She had sent me a very, very meanly worded.
Oh yeah.
She said something like, "Know the rules."
Yeah.
I didn't know that there were rules in order to receive mail.
You've pissed off the Postal Service vigilante group. What if there's a United States Postal Service route workers of this area Facebook?
There definitely is.
And you're on the list
I'm on
now.
The list.
And they're all they do every day. This D-head did it again. And there's a picture of your Jeep too close to the mailbox, so she had to back up.
Oh boy, the horror. It's terrible. Boy, I feel for you.
I'm gonna wait.
Thank you for
because the next time you have to take an extra step at your job that you're upset about, I'm gonna remind you of this moment.
Okay.
Where you're totally content with the Postal Service employee having to back up and start. What if that's a main road?
Yeah, but
Steve?
the difference is what I do at my job is completely self-contained.
Sure,
there aren't typically outside forces affecting.
Right. But what if if there's a force out there? It's like something happens out of your control, but it's making you redo steps.
Somebody complains, and then I have to go back through 9 years of archives and find the one needle in a haystack.
Yeah, you have to redo some of your prior work.
Okay.
I expect zero complaints.
It's going to be a case-by-case basis.
Sure.
So it's not all apples to apples.
Yeah. Well, then you will then have the right to go on the radio producers of this area's local Facebook page,
which there are many.
Which you guys, and you all trash everybody.
All communicate. We all, we talk trash about the host of the show, about the listeners, about the management.
Yeah, I mean, I was a part of this group for a while.
Yeah, I know. And then you got you got kicked to the curb.
I saw what was going on in there. A lot of ire. Yeah. A lot of anger going on. But yeah, okay, that's fair. If you're willing to accept it when that day comes,
look forward to it. I welcome it with open arms.
All right.
And I cannot wait to debate the stance when the time comes.
We'll have this audio prepared.
Pull this audio, Kyle.
I will.
Pull this audio.
Time-stamped?
Time-stamped.
Like an actual
Sunday,
stamp?
March 4th,
yep.
2018, 10:54 a.m.
About 35 minutes in.
About 35 minutes in.
All right.
Couldn't make it easier for you.
I want the record to state, I stand with our end-of-the-driveway soldiers at the United States Postal Service, and I thank them for their now 7-days-a-week delivery service, Steve. That's round the clock. They're delivering your packages from a company you support that once sponsored a studio of ours.
Oh, they still do.
Yeah.
we got the mat outside the door. Oh wait, that doesn't say Amazon Prime Studio.
No, it doesn't. No,
we have to put
put the door sign up.
Yeah.
Okay. If that's the hill you want to die on, anti end of the driveway soldier. Here's Steve.
No, I'm not just anti some end of the driveway soldiers.
Oh, okay. So you want to pick and choose, you like the Marines, but you hate the Air Force.
DHL has never let me down.
With all those illegal packages from China and Korea that you've received. Right. So a DHL truck last week. Honestly, it forgot. I don't know if they do just local delivery.
We still haven't figured out what exactly they do.
Is there a
DHL employees?
Yeah, is there a DHL drop box? Like there's a UPS drop box?
I think there is. I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure that there. I thought that you had Googled it.
Oh yeah.
And there's
you have to drive 16 miles.
There's one.
Yeah.
There's one in the area, and in the area is even being generous.
And it's probably got just like a loose leaf piece of paper taped to it that says out of service.
Yeah.
Because nobody uses it. Nobody.
Out of service because, it's DHL.
Yeah. Well, FedEx getting a lot of grief lately, so that's one end of the driveway soldier service. You're down.
Big fan of Brown.
So you're going UPS.
Big fan of Brown.
All right. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Good company. Run well.
Sure. Thank you. Well. Thank you to our boys in blue.
Or brown.
Tackling those mailboxes with their mail. And their hard work.
It's shocking how much this topic comes up on this podcast.
Too much. But if you think about it, no more than covered bridges and suspension bridges.
You know who I want to talk to? I want to talk to the person that delivers stuff to podcast listener Nathaniel Rich.
He's got to hate him.
Did you see that picture that he sent us?
Yeah.
Nathaniel Rich. On Twitter, 2017 Amazon order report,
and that was only part of it. I think
I got my $99 Prime subscription's worth.
That's like 120.
Let me see. So he sent us a picture that he took of a spreadsheet that he keeps for all of his deliveries, all of his orders from Amazon. I don't know why he keeps this. I don't know if this is personal or business.
I wonder if he knows that they have you can just click on your order history and it'll show them.
Yeah, maybe. Or that anyone could take any of these UPS tracking numbers.
Figure out his address.
Yeah, figure out his address. But I may want to block that out.
It's a lot of typing. But.
In 2017 alone, Nathaniel spent nearly $30,000
on
Amazon Prime.
Now, I am assuming the column to the left of that total is how much he spent on shipping. And there's probably 85% $0.
Yeah. Yeah. And granted, we can only see about, maybe 20?
Right.
20 of the orders, but 68 cents.
But like his biggest orders, almost $1,000, $0 shipping.
Yeah. Yeah. Now there's one, looks like a $250 order. He had $15 in shipping roughly. But yeah, what a great commercial for Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime. That must be some kind of business account.
It has to be.
I can't imagine that Nathaniel spent. Who knows? Maybe he just spent $30,000 on Amazon
on stuff he felt like he buying. That's the game. Steve and I have talked about it. If you use Amazon Prime and you're buying multiple things, please, until they officially sponsor this podcast in our studio, make them ship it in as many boxes as humanly possible.
Hashtag make them pay.
Hashtag make them pay. Hashtag Amazon Prime. They need to understand it's time to pony up the big bucks for this podcast. And plus, if you ship more packages, you're keeping people like S. Robbie Mac busy. You're
true.
giving them multiple orders to deliver.
Yeah, even though I'm not a big fan of keeping the USPS busy, I guess we'll...
You just want a government agency to fold then, Steve?
No, I just think that they need to be reworked a bit.
Okay.
I think they need somebody else in charge.
Yeah.
Postmaster General's not doing his or her job very well.
The postmaster did not... Well, you're going right to the top.
Hey, the buck stops there.
Yeah.
You know?
So you want the postmaster general to maybe do like a full reroute?
I think that the whole organization they need to do an audit.
Sure.
See what's going on there.
Sure.
So
important to mention too. While I just looked at our Twitter mentions. Time to get prepared, Team Remax, for the softball season.
Yes, sir.
Listener and teammate Jake
talking to Rusty about this yesterday.
Yeah,
how we're both excited for softball season.
Listener and teammate Jake doing what can only be described as like that high altitude. It looks like training.
Yeah, what is he doing?
I don't know. It's like they control your oxygen so it would simulate the thin air, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So this is from Jake again, teammate and listener. Hey, coach and manager. Just want you to know I'm keeping up with that off-season training program that you prescribed. We aren't finishing second this year. That's to the point. No bones about it.
Yeah.
Picture him on a treadmill with a breathing apparatus attached to his face. So I sent that to the team saying, please, everybody get ready. Start getting, that program in shape because I've seen a lot of stuff this offseason, Steve. Sims taking cruises.
Yeah, I liked the replies to that. Somebody said I've been working out. Someone else said, I know Sims went on a cruise.
Yeah, was responded to a picture of Rusty with a bottle of Tito's vodka in his hand. So to say this team is underprepared might be an understatement. And again, radio silent in terms of getting this team together. This is the very reminiscent of last year.
Do you think that everyone else on the team did what I did and muted the conversation? Because
I don't know.
The only time I get notifications is if I'm tagged.
Okay.
So maybe do a post.
Oh, I did.
Okay, well then I guess that...
I tagged the people we're waiting to hear from, which was our all-star shortstop, a kid who joined us and played third base. No answer. Joe, Cotton Eye Joe. No answer.
Oh, boy.
Robert.
You want me to start recruiting?
To be determined. You know what? The last time you recruited didn't go well.
What did I do?
It was a coworker.
Oh, that's right. Well, in my defense...
Not your fault.
Yeah, that coworker, completely bailed.
Yep, not your fault.
Because I think he approached me saying, hey, can I play on the team?
Because you asked me 2 or 3 weeks in a row. So that, hey,
right,
really bringing it up,
yeah.
and I said, yeah, sure, you know what?
Because
fine.
we were in that period of well, I'm not sure because we might have this guy, and then it was finally determined. Nope, we definitely need a player, and I said, cool, we need a player. I let him know, and then he quickly said, no, I'm not going to play this year. So, yeah.
Well, this year has now turned into forever.
Made me look like a fool.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, if there's any other recruitment you think you can do, that'd be great. I did mention anybody listening, if you would on the team, we need Joe back. Joe is the linchpin to center field.
Yeah, he's pretty good out there. Can swing a bat too.
Maybe I'll post
Wait, don't you work with him?
No, he doesn't. He left.
Oh, that's right.
He's back in school, which is making him. That's why he's to be determined. Maybe I'll just post his public Facebook. Have people shoot him messages.
Could just call him.
Yeah, I mean, I've asked him a few times. I feel like it'll work better with the community bombarding him with messages, right?
Right, like when I was going to quit last year, and then
we had the recruitment campaign.
Yeah, everybody brought me back.
Yeah, that's what we need with Joe.
Like when you were trying to quit and saying that you're not going to play next year, and you are.
News to one guy here.
So you're just doing all this.
I'll say this, and I said this yesterday.
You're just doing
too.
all this to help out and make sure that the team doesn't dissolve.
I said this this week. If my brother plays,
your brother's playing.
I'll play. But if not, I'm going to help. I'm literally going to tell whoever gets the money where to drop it off, and I'm done.
Do you really need to do that though? Because if we want to play bad enough, we can probably figure that out.
You've seen the Facebook messages, Steve. Mm-hmm. Do you think one soul on that thread will take any initiative?
Well, then why are you concerned about it?
Here's why I'm concerned.
You want your legacy to live on?
The legacy is one. Number two, there was a promise made at the end of last year that if we got our sponsor a home sale, he would provide really nice new jerseys this year.
Did. I mean, I had nothing to do with it. I simply heard about it.
There was a home sale provided by our team to our sponsor.
Okay.
Which
is our
means,
sponsor... has he replied at all?
No.
So he hasn't. Okay.
Well, I mean, he's in. He said he's in, but other than getting it set up, which has been no initiative at all.
What is the setup process?
There's two forms you got to fill out, and then you have to drop off money to the office.
Okay.
So
2 forms to fill out. So basically,
and
you need
money together.
The forms list all the people on the team. Yep. Okay.
And then the other one is you have to team name. What night, what division you'd prefer to play in, what your skills are, and then obviously, which was the headache last year, is collecting the money.
Okay. How much money is it?
I have no idea, Steve.
I thought it was like $20 a person.
I told you. I'm on my way out the door.
$20 a person, and what, 12, 13 players? So
that was
240, 250,
but that was with the sponsor kicking in half, which that hasn't been determined yet.
I don't think I ever paid last year. I think I tried to pay you.
You were late, so you were like the second to last person to join. So I had to do an on-air pitch to you. We already had all the money in at that point because I hadn't calculated for you.
I feel like there was we had some kind of podcast bet, and like you owed me $20 because I won.
That was after the season.
Was it?
That was after the season. But no, you were like the last person to join, so I'd already gotten money from everybody. Mm-hmm. Based on that total, and then we added you, so we didn't need any more money.
Oh, perfect! I was a freebie last year.
Put it on my tab.
Do you want me to PayPal you $20 right now just to prove my commitment to Team Remax?
Not even interested. You'll have to do that if you want to play this year. I'm assuming.
Right, and I'm saying I'll do it right now, and then you can spread the word.
Yeah.
To all those other schlubs.
Nope. Not collecting money this year. Not doing it. Nightmare.
What? I don't understand what your role is in this then.
Right now, it's nothing. I told you. I'm on the way out.
Because if I'm quitting something, done.
Yeah.
Gone. Out the door. Deal with it on your own.
Sure.
You have any questions? Ask me. Yeah. But I'm not going to be the one organizing it.
Right.
That's why I feel like you're back in. You're playing.
No.
So you're going to do all this again just to help us out.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if the team doesn't get off the ground, open dates for turning in these forms and money are already ready. So here's what's going to happen.
When is the date?
I don't know what the deadline is, but I think it started 2 weeks ago, something like that. Here's what's going to happen, and I'll lay this out because this is exactly what happened last year. We started the recruitment process, started figuring out sponsor, started getting money. By the time it all came together, it was late March. I went to drop off the money and sign us up. Was informed that the league was already full. Mm-hmm. Which then led us to the Career Man Softball League, which everybody hated.
Which went well.
So it's going to be the exact same thing this year because, again, zero initiative to get it off the ground outside of me saying, at so-and-so, are you in? Mm-hmm. With no response. It's going to be the same way. It's fine. When it falls apart.
You want me to ruffle some feathers? I can do that.
Sure.
I'm going to start. I'll spam the hell out of this Facebook message.
Yeah, let me try to figure out the day because, again, it is coming up. Mm-hmm. And, again, you know what? I don't think if my brother doesn't play, I don't know if I will. I really don't. Because I'm not coming back just to manage.
Why wouldn't your brother play?
he is signing both of his children up for the first time for T-ball and whatever the other, like age 4 and age 6 or 7 baseball and T-ball. And he doesn't know what night that's going to be, and he doesn't know what the responsibilities are for practices, and they're recruiting him to be an assistant coach. Terrible mistake. Nice guy. I mean, what is he going to teach? How to be tall?
Yeah. How to run like a stork?
Right. Like, I don't understand. Like, look, hey, keep your eye on the ball. Like, is that it? Is that the coaching that it takes? Because that's where I feel like we're at. So, hey, that's coming up. It's softball is possibly around the corner. Probably not going to happen.
Okay. Well, I just sent my first message to the team. Hopefully that ruffles some feathers, gets them all riled up.
All I see is a notification, and it opens up with, hey, D-heads. Let me see the dates this is closed, because, again, I want this on public record. If it doesn't happen, I will not be held responsible. Registration deadline.
Do you really think anyone's going to hold you responsible? Do you think that if no one replies to your message and we don't get signed up, do you think anyone's going to say, "Oh, I wanted to play, but Kyle didn't do it"?
Yeah, well, probably.
I think you're overthinking the.
Would you like to guess the deadline for registration? Now, again, games begin. I want to say April 20, last week in April.
Okay. I'll say March. I'll say last week in March.
Yeah. Well, how would this Saturday, March the 10th, hit you?
All right.
Maybe a little more urgent?
Yeah, a little bit.
Again, this is assuming there's availability.
All right. Well, I can already see that one person has seen this message because Facebook tells me.
Yep, and they're going to ignore it.
You've seen it. So I'm going to say Tyler. I know.
Tyler's in. Tyler already said he's in.
Okay. All right.
We're waiting on like 3. Right now we have like 7
Because what
people.
I'm going to do is...
anybody who's seen it?
old sponsor?
That's our sponsor.
Sims?
Yeah, because I told him he was out after last year. I threatened him.
Sims, yep. I know you've seen
he's playing too.
The message.
Yeah.
So we know he's in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. All right. Well, it's going to be a case-by-case thing. As they reply to this or as they see this message, okay. I'm gonna say to you, are they in or not?
Yeah.
And if you say no, I'm going to humiliate them.
Okay. Good. Publicly.
Sims replied, he's in.
Okay. Good. That's one. Look at you. Got a confirmation of one that was already in.
I got a confirmation of the confirmed.
The possibilities are endless. Softball feels inevitable. There's one thing I wanted to ask you about.
Okay.
I saw it on your notes. You said today is a big anniversary.
Today's a huge anniversary.
So now today is Sunday, March the 4th, Steve.
Yeah.
And I am trying to think, let me try to guess. Is it podcast related?
No.
Is it your personal life related?
Yes.
Does it involve me?
Yes.
Is this a Facebook notification from a day or two ago?
May have been.
Oh my goodness! It's a big weekend, Steve.
I thought it was today because I just saw the notification.
I saw it yesterday.
Today.
But it's this weekend. It's within a day or two. It is a big anniversary.
Just 8 short years ago today, Kyle, we became Facebook friends.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, how about that?
What'd
so that
think?
was because I'll tell the story in a second. So 8 years ago. That puts us March 2018. That means I had March 2010. Means I had been an intern on that side gig of yours that so insults us daily.
Insults us by ignorance or by ignoring
us.
Ignorant. Yeah, ignorance.
Does that not work? Isn't the act of ignoring ignorance?
Because ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. It just seems like because ignorance is used in such a different light.
It sounds like it's more derogatory than it is.
I think you should say that. You should go in there and be like, hey, your guys' ignorance to our podcast is really making us mad.
Yeah, I'm going to
see how they take that.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
You know what? I'll send a group text.
I'm sure it'll go over just as well as it did when I opened up a package on the air and I got yelled at because it wasn't more entertaining.
Yeah. Boy, I can't believe you didn't jazz that up with music.
Yeah.
Or like one of those party poppers that shoots streamers in the air.
Or do a song and dance like, hello, my darling. Hello, my lady. Yeah. Oh, look, a T-shirt.
I didn't know why you didn't ride a unicycle in with the package, Steve. That's on you.
Sorry, I didn't know I had to be Gallagher.
Yeah.
Like smash watermelons.
Yeah. So that means 6 weeks. 6 weeks it took for me and you to
work
become
up the
Facebook friends.
Work up the nerve to send your hero on the radio show a Facebook friend request because I'm confident that I didn't do it.
No, there's no way.
Yeah.
Because That was still, so this was back when the intern and you would share a booth. Mm-hmm. But there would be multiple interns in there most days. So there's 3 people in that walk-in closet with your computer, one computer screen-to-screen calls, and nothing else.
Well, there was a point where I had my laptop in there, then I had my work computer,
yeah.
And they were connected by one of those switchers, and then there was the intern. But the intern computer used to be in the far corner.
Yeah.
Like all the way in, which was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
Even now, the booth that I'm in now, it's the exact same size.
Right.
And if one person walks in, I'm like, whoa,
step it back.
Back up.
Yeah.
Back up. Not enough air in this room for
I've got a
both of
window
us.
now, but it's still too tight in here. Not a fan.
Yeah. So, just 8 short years ago.
Yeah. Boy, that is big.
And look at us now.
Yeah,
sitting here in my basement.
Making money.
Uh-huh.
Now, how many? So you've obviously had dozens of interns. Now you don't handle the hiring, but you essentially handle what they do and how they do it.
We haven't hired any interns in over a year, but I still deal with the 2 current interns, / part timers that we have. I interviewed them.
Mm-hmm. Now, how many do they all over the years? Mm-hmm. Do they send you Facebook friend requests or follows on Twitter or Snapchat follows?
Yeah, I'm friends with a lot of former interns.
Okay.
I'm friends with obviously Lurch, Merman.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Stupid.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them.
Okay.
A ton.
I didn't know if a lot of if they just kind of kept to themselves and
some
never
do.
felt like they
some
should.
I bet that. I'm regretting that I didn't, when I first started, I'm regretting that I didn't just keep a spreadsheet of
names.
Interns' real name, interns' intern name.
Yeah.
Because I bet that there are plenty that I remember their intern name, like Candy Beard. I remember Candy Beard's...
Candy Beard Wet Hands.
Candy Beard Wet Hands. I think his name might be Scott, but I have no clue.
Huh. That's a good guess. That was after my time.
Yeah, and he burned bright, man. He was there for a month and a half.
That was a big deal.
Yeah, because he was an intern over the summer, and then he went back up to, I think he went to what's that? Is it Northern Michigan? Is that the tech school in the UP?
Oh, yeah, Michigan Tech.
Michigan Tech,
Yep.
okay. Yeah, so he
went up there to the snowed bliss after a month.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of shortest tenures, there's obviously the idiot who got fired.
That was before.
That was before you even.
Before me, yeah. The one who said he peed on a bagel or something.
Yeah, you've had, but you've had some that just stopped showing up too, right?
I had one who interned for one day, and then then he sent an email essentially saying that his mom didn't want him to do the internship. Oh
yeah, they didn't. That's right.
Because I don't know, I guess they were super conservative or something, and he had to do what's right to be in good with the family.
Okay, man, you've been here for a day. Relax.
Yeah, college student, so no doubt 20-something years old. Mm-hmm. Mommy still telling you that what you can and cannot do. All right,
pretty bad.
There was one girl who was an intern. I think she might have been there 2 days, 3 days, and she very lightly got ribbed on the air about something. She had made a silly comment or something that, it was just, look, everyone says dumb things. Right. She just said something that she probably meant it another way. It came out one way. Sure. And Greg said something, Freebeer said something to her like, hey, do you do well in school? Oh. Just one of those. And she got this just sour look on her face, and I knew that it was over. And then I got an email from her later that day saying, I've decided to reevaluate my internship, and I'm not going to be returning.
Wow.
Yeah.
So over understanding the show, but not accepting, no, not okay when it's against me type of thing.
Yeah, it was whatever. It was a very strange, strange scenario.
What a privilege.
Yeah. Oh, man, I just realized, hey, what are you doing this week, by the way? You got a regular work schedule? Can you go in a little bit late?
No.
You sure?
You mean like 3 hours late, Steve?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I start at 7, right?
That's fine. I mean, you start at 9?
Sure. No, not at all. I mean, sure, the places I have to be at start at 8. So,
just realized both my intern and my part-timer are on spring break this week.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, answering phone sounds pretty fun, huh?
Yeah. I can't wait. Can't wait for that.
Yeah. Just like making your way, doing whatever you need to do to keep the job. That'll be Steve this weekend. So please, anybody listening, make sure you call often, early, late.
I figured you were going to use this as your opportunity because you were saying that anytime I complain about something at my job.
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, this is going to be a real shame for you, Steve, that you have to sit back there and answer phones. So please keep Steve busy this week, everybody.
Keep me busy.
Call in the 6 a.m. hour. Obviously, can't wait to talk about Blake segment right at the top of the show. Give him a call. That's 1-800-947-3979.
That's right. You got it.
Actually, just message me. I'll give you the hotline number. You can call in, talk directly to Steve because he has to answer that.
Yeah, that's
because
the one.
You never know. Like it could be either a guest that nobody knew about or whatever. So yeah, I'll hand that out. Everybody call Steve on the hotline. Have a nice morning chat with him.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing I like more than just meaningless chit chat.
Yep.
On the phone when I'm trying.
Well, everything
to
I've heard from you, from like 6 to like 9:30, is you're pretty bored.
Yeah, I mean, I basically just kick my feet up.
Yeah.
Eat granola bars.
Sure.
And, play darts.
Wait for something to happen that you have to put on the website, type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's ever going on.
Yeah. No, the anniversary I thought you were mentioning, it came up on my Facebook a couple of days ago, and I think we've told this story. So to briefly recap, it must have been 5 years ago. We went out for my birthday. And there was probably 12 or 14 people, and they ended up seating us. The way they seated us, it was kind of one long table at this sports bar.
All right, yeah.
And I was seated down by you, and a couple other people, and on the other end was more of my friends who all knew each other, who I've known forever. And still to this day, we talk about this, Steve, because out of nowhere, from the end of the table, I see one of my friends, he throws his hands in the air, and very loudly, "Lake Superior's a fickle bee." And that came up on my Facebook on this day yesterday because you posted it as a quote.
Oh, so it
was yesterday or 2 days ago, but I was tagged in it, so it popped up on mine. So I thought of that, and I laughed wholeheartedly again.
Let's see. I'm trying to find this. Don't be. There's a cute picture of Lola.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it definitely came up. I laughed again because this is the same person who said this, my friend Joe, as it must have been a year or two after that when we were out at another sports bar. And we got into a full-fledged argument about who caused Mufasa's death in The Lion King.
Sure, yeah.
Was it the wildebeest
or Scar,
or was it Uncle Scar?
Yeah.
So a lot of important stuff being done.
Yeah, I mean this is obviously a very important period of time in my life. Yeah, 8 years ago today, you and Kyle Paffhausen became Facebook friends. Look at that.
But yeah, it's that is still quoted. That Lake Superior is a fickle bee. We still quote that quite a bit, obviously in reference, which we talked about at length, Steve. Yeah. The wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. In this state, it's pretty. If you don't play euchre, and if you don't talk about the Edmund Fitzgerald, you can't live here.
Yeah. Well, the legend
lives on.
From the Chippewa, I mean, on down to the Big Lake.
It's the Big Lake, but they don't call it the Big Lake.
No, they call it Gitchagumi.
Yeah. Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Hey, it looks like we've had a couple more updates.
Okay, softballs go then, huh?
Who is Skyscraper? That's Kevin.
That's Kevin, because Kevin would hit, our all-star shortstop would hit what can only be described as the world's highest flyouts ever.
Yeah, you had enough time to round the bases.
Yeah.
While the ball was in the air.
These balls would go so high. I think they went, obviously, higher than they went far.
Yeah, definitely.
But this guy could hit home runs, but instead decided to pop it up 300 feet in the air.
Okay, so Kevin, previously unconfirmed, now confirmed.
Okay.
Okay, he is in. Cy Nolan Ryan Young is in. I believe he already was.
Yeah.
Old sponsor simply gives a thumbs up. I guess that's what. Okay. And then he says that wasn't intentionally smaller. LOL. Excited at the same level for both.
I feel like he's not.
I don't really know what he's talking about. But hey, we got Kevin. That's good.
Sure.
Kevin's a fantastic shortstop.
Yep. Still need a center fielder.
Still need a center fielder. Let's see. All Night Green Light. Is that
that's Rusty? Yep. Yeah, Rusty's still in,
Rusty's
I'm assuming.
in. Yep. All right, cool. Well, we got
Great.
one.
Progress.
So far. Well, I mean, it's only been 10 minutes.
No, sure.
We got
I mean,
one.
you have literally less than a week to get a confirmed team and all of the money in the forms delivered to the
We have
township.
less than a week to get a team together and get all of the forms.
And money.
The forms and money
Delivered.
Submitted.
Yep.
And
then to
Kyle
really... Yep.
is really annoying about all of this. Don't worry, I didn't tag you, so...
Oh, okay, it won't pop up.
You won't get the notification.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't have it muted, so it might still pop up. But again...
we need to get our S
together.
Yep.
If you actually could mention for me, too...
bugging me.
What I'd really like to do...
Okay.
I'd really like to put a cup of cold water on this, too, if you could make sure to mention this is assuming the date and the league we want isn't already filled up, because registration has been open for 30 days while people dilly-dally around and not confirm if they're playing. It's fine, though. Everybody said this would be easy. It's just a quick... hey, I'm in, cool, and then wait for Kyle to do it. It's fine. It's fine. Because I think everybody...
Kyle is playing the martyr.
I think everybody would agree that if we have to go back to the softball career guy league, I'm not. Nobody would play.
I'm not in.
Which the second you skip a year, it's over. So
Kyle is sitting across the table from me right now as I type this.
Yep.
Scowling at me.
Scowling at the team, if you could clarify.
Scowling at the entire team.
While this
the role of
while Steve types out
playing
this
the role
condescending message, I would like
the martyr.
Like to quickly mention we haven't done it in a few weeks.
I
Steve.
move to suspend.
Oh boy,
Kyle.
This is taking on an official tone. We may need to have a suspension hearing.
To suspend Kyle indefinitely from all team activities. All those in favor say aye.
Okay. So what you're looking to do is suspend the only dying hope that this team comes back this year, right? I did want to mention...
No, I'm thinking of suspending you, getting the team together, just to prove that we can do it, and then we'll invite you to our games, but not let you near the bench.
That's likely. All very likely.
Or I'll stop and pick you up and be like, hey, let's go grab a drink.
Yeah.
And then
you'll make me watch.
Yeah, you'll wonder why I'm dressed in my softball costume.
Sure. Boy, Steve, you must have just got done with the game. Can't believe that. Oh, well. I did want to briefly mention, we haven't done it in a few weeks, Steve, but the reviews, they're still coming in, but more infrequently. I did want to talk about, now our review numbers. There's always those 2 1-star reviews. Mm-hmm. One of them was a written Kanan, who we're still looking for, Cainin. If that's you, if you're somehow come back to the fold, let us know. We want to talk to you about what we did wrong. But then we've had a couple. We're up to 3 1-star reviews now. Weren't we only at 2?
Oh, no. But it must be a recent one?
But it's not with a review, so it doesn't show up who did it.
Oh, coward.
If you've left us a 1-star review, we just want to talk to you. I just want to find out what we can do to bring you back into the fold.
Yeah.
Or... get you up to that 2-star review.
That's right, yeah, 2 stars.
We'll take a star.
2's better than 1. That's what they say.
Because we're now at 3 1-star reviews, 2 2-star reviews, and more people have had the nerve to leave us 4-star reviews, 3 of them.
Awful.
Thank goodness our rating is still at 5 stars. But yes, please leave us a review. We're obviously talking about iTunes or Apple Podcasts. please leave us a review. Let us know that you sent that review. We can get you on the list for 2 minutes of awkward conversation. I have a feeling, we're definitely not getting to that again today. Sorry to Christopher and Carl again.
Yep.
You're both on the list. Whenever we get to it, it's coming right back to you.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I texted you this week about it because I didn't want to forget about it, Steve.
Yeah.
I want to play a little guessing game.
Okay.
Because this is a little bit out of the box. I may have actually talked about this artist or band with you beforehand, so I don't know if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
I bought ticket. I forget the way I texted you about it, but I bought concert tickets this week. I made a concert ticket purchase that may surprise you.
Okay.
Now, it's an artist coming to this town, so I'm not traveling for it, but I would have. And it's an artist or band that would surprise you, Steve. I'd say it's recently announced, so you may have seen it pop up.
Recently announced. Kesha? Is Kesha coming to town?
I got 2 floor seats to the Kesha concert, Steve.
I'm not surprised.
Nice guess.
No, I'll because I know that you've talked about your love for Kesha many times.
I love the music.
Yeah.
Listen,
big fan of TikTok.
Listen, here's the deal. I have been a Kesha fan for a long back when she was doing the TikTok, to the point where my iPod at the time, I think when that music came out, it must have been 2010, probably maybe earlier.
Yeah, maybe right around that time, I would think.
I was so ashamed that I made playlists with like Lord of the Rings soundtracks, so nobody would ever click on it on my iPod with like Kesha songs. Okay.
So, would you purposely label the music differently too? Like,
No.
Would you call it like definitely not Kesha?
No. If you get past the one charade of the playlist, you figured me out, and you've got. But so I'm a sucker for pop music. I'm not one of those people who, I only listen to singer-songwriters and indie folk rock or whatever. No, I don't care. If there's a good pop song, I like good pop music. Yeah. I really do like good pop music, and there's nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And now that I'm 30, I don't care if people think there's something wrong with that.
Yeah, you're a grown man.
Yeah, so she had a new album come out this last year called Rainbow. Tremendous.
Good,
absolutely tremendous. Got nominated for a couple of Grammys for vocal performance and hits on the radio. So she was actually in Detroit, Steve, which is from where we are is about 2.5 to 3 hours away.
Hours away, yeah.
Earlier this year, thought about going, couldn't make it work. So she announced a tour stop in our fair city. And I snatched up tickets in the first week. We've got aisle floor seats for a Friday night July show. I'm gonna get nude and have someone shoot me with a glitter gun and go.
Because that's how you go to a Kesha show.
She's big on the glitter, I guess. I'm actually very curious about the. That was a huge. I stepped all over it.
I was actually thinking it was going to go on long enough that it was still going to be going
after I finished talking. That was a tremendous. That's a whole other thing we have to talk about. But Friday, July 6th, Steve. So by that Sunday, our regular record time, July 8th, I will have a full update on the no doubt crazy crowd because now this is it's pop music. I'm planning on smelling nothing but marijuana and having literally glitter all over me by the time I get home.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair assessment of what you're in store for.
I have what do you think? Now you're familiar with her. You're familiar with her music enough, right?
Yeah. Is
this something that like can I do I stand up and sing along with everybody?
Absolutely.
Do I have to? Like, is it going to be weird? Like a 31-year-old man. But I have my wife there.
No, I don't think it's going to be weird at all. Yeah. But I think that you will now become the guy that you used to see at the show, the concert when you were kids.
Yeah.
Like when you were 14 years old or whatever at your first concert, and you look over and it's like, what's up with the weird old dude?
Yeah.
You're the weird old dude. But I think that you're content being the weird old dude.
Oh. I don't know if I would have put it that way at all. It feels like I don't even know if that was intentional or.
Let me restate that.
And again, you say weird old dude. I am younger than you, but again, I am. I'm at the.
All right.
So what you're saying is I should
restate-
reevaluate.
No. Let me restate it. But I guess can't really put the genie back in that bottle.
Soften that one, is there?
You're content with being the guy outside of the demographic.
Sure.
Being at the concert.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I'm a guy. I'll go see a movie alone. That doesn't bother me. I know that bothers a lot of people. I'll go golfing alone. I know that bothers some people. I don't mind it.
We haven't golfed in a couple of years. Is this the year?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're hitting the links again.
Yeah, I'm planning on I want to do a lot of weekday afternoon golfing.
When you've been married 3 years in May?
Yep, 3 years this May.
That means I haven't golfed in 3 years and a couple of weeks. Got to find. Maybe I'll swing by the golf course that we golfed at. See if I can find the head of my driver. Which flew off of my club on the first tee at your bachelor party.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in though.
Okay,
let's
good.
golf again.
No,
I'll have to pick up a driver off of Craigslist.
Yeah, right. No big deal. Easy to find. This is one thing I told myself I needed to get back into. I was planning on last year, so I received a beautiful new golf bag for a gift because I wanted a new bag.
Nice.
I upgraded my driver in recent years, all of my irons, and promptly ruptured my Achilles right around the time you'd start golfing.
Yeah.
By the time I was healthy enough, I did golf once last year. And that was felt like tearing scar tissue there in the Achilles area. So, no, that's the goal this year. Get back on the links, hit a couple weekday course, weekday, go once or twice. Well, probably once a week safe. And get back out there. So I'm comfortable being that guy. And I am more, again.
Mark that one down.
My goodness. That is it. What's the matter, man?
I don't know. I think it might be the time of day because I'm still kind of hungry.
Right.
I just had a little bit, just enough where my stomach is kind of satisfied.
Sure.
But then, that's 2 hours at this point, 2.5 hours ago.
But I really thought and again, I think Katie's looking forward to it, but I don't know if she's as excited as I am.
No.
I'm really looking forward to it.
So, you're going to tailgate beforehand?
Yeah. Yeah, and all those parking lots out there.
There's not. Yeah, that is.
There's
no
parking.
That is a bummer about this place. There's no spot for good tailgating. The two of the big parking lots that you, I guess, conceivably could tailgate in are now closed forever because they're building
another big
movie
new
theater
structure thing. Yeah. I can't wait. So that's what I'm curious about. Is it too weird that as a 31-year-old man I'm going to be going to a Kesha concert?
No.
Because I feel partly better about it because we've talked about it numerous times, but I listened to Jimmy Pardo's podcast, Never Not Funny, which I like to think we derive as a poor man's version of.
Very poor.
Well, yeah, but it's the same flow.
Yeah.
We don't really sit down with a set schedule of whatever.
Well, I mean, we have a set schedule of things that we're supposed to get to.
I've had one, let's see what we've had on there for the long... Well, the throat noises we've had on there.
6 months?
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
I think you stopped sending them to me.
No, you should have all of the through that number you should have. Okay. If not, I have all of those that I can give you. Which leads us into, but yeah, there's other things on there that have been on there for 3 or 4 weeks that don't need to be, they're not urgent, but we'll get to them when we get to them.
Yeah. Talk about you're going to get to meet a hero of yours.
Oh boy, that's a big talk. Big discussion when it happens because it's going to have to be like a sales pitch.
Yeah, it's not going to be until later this year, right?
Yeah.
Like November or something.
Yeah, and it's going to be a sales pitch because that's one thing. I can go alone, but it's going to be important for the podcast to make this a community event.
There's been talk about me and you plus
Rusty.
Rusty, yeah. Yeah, the drunkest softball playing painter this side of the Mississippi.
I like that last E on Mississippi. You didn't have the time for.
Can't do it.
Had to chop that to move on.
I got to truncate it.
Yeah.
I mean, or else it's not a good nickname.
We're way behind schedule. I mean, we got nothing done today. So I appreciate you carving that E off the end to save us that minute.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the resulting conversation more than took up the time that I had saved.
Maybe we should just talk in all abbreviations. Have this thing done in like 30 minutes. 30 min.
Okay. SG2M.
Sure. Sounds good to you too. Me too. But no, this leads us beautifully in. Now, we talked about this in passing, but I think it's something we both really think would be fun to do. We want to do a March Madness bracket of all of the Steve throat noises and stomach. I have a folder. Now, I'm going to have to I'm going to have to pull them all apart.
We have 18 officially.
But there's more.
There are more, but do you think there would be enough to get to 32?
I'll have to look. I bet not 32.
I think we do because the alliteration would be good. We could call it like the Steve 16.
Sure. It's not bad.
The Sweet 16,
Yeah.
So basically we we go through, we listen to all 18 of them, eliminate 2 of them right off the bat that are going to be the low ball ones, the ones that aren't going to make the tournament. Although you never know, they could upset. They could be a 16 seed.
You never know.
They'd only be it would have to be a 4 seed, right?
No, it'll be 1 through 16. So we'll have 1 verse 16.
Okay.
On the bottom will be 2 verse 15.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Let me try to pull that up because the only issue, obviously, you never anticipate a March Madness bracket of throat noises, Steve.
No.
So I hadn't titled them officially until I started doing it around like number 9, where I kept the name the same and just updated the number. So now I have a whole folder, Steve, on my Steve and Kyle podcast folder. I have a subfolder of Steve throat sounds.
Okay.
And that shows, so I've got, and this goes back to the problem where I would name it wrong. Steve's mouth alien fights back. Steve's mouth goblin nearly escapes. Steve's passenger speaks. Steve's stomach burster tries to play.
Stomach burster.
That must have been, yeah. Steve's throat battle toad.
Oh, that's a good one.
Steve's throat earthquake. Steve's throat ghost returns. Steve's throat ghoul. And that's when I started titling the rest of them Steve's throat ghoul. So that shows 18 throat goblin. I'll have to make sure I have 1 through 18 that I can send to you so we can. But this is going to happen. Now we need to figure out how to do it. So what we'll have to do is post the audio, or here's the way I think we discussed we're going to do it coming up. And now again, to be determined, probably mid-March or late March we'll start this. What we'll do is in the episode, probably closer to the end, maybe twice a show we'll play it. We'll play the matchup. Mm-hmm. So we'll say this is
Oh yeah, we got to have like all this. We got to have like
music, a bed, and so we'll play number 1 and we'll play number 16. We'll do that like twice a show, and then every week we'll make a Twitter poll.
Okay.
But we'll have to do like early on so we'll have to do 8 matchups, 12, 15 matchups.
Oh, it's gonna be tough.
We can't do one a week. We're gonna have to do the first round. We'll have to do.
Did we decide? Can we put a link
to audio? Because
I think what we can do is we can match them up in a YouTube video.
Okay.
Because if we tweet the link to the YouTube video, you can play it right there, and then can you also do a poll? Or we could we could thread the tweets.
Yeah, I think the tweets will be threaded no matter what. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think we need to figure out. I wish there was a way where we could post audio directly to Twitter. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's where it's going to take place. Maybe we can combine Twitter and Facebook. Do you know how that would work? We could do. Maybe we'll do that. But then we'll go on your votes, see who advances. So early on, we'll probably do, that first week, maybe do 4 matchups. Next week, do 4 more to get them done.
Let's give the people. Hey, that's my.
Do you have some? You have some for a little taste?
I got a bunch of them that I can.
We haven't played yet, too. These are unknown to the community.
This is just an isolated one. This is number 18.
Wow. That's a gurgler.
That is a good.
That's like a low rumble. That sounds like the start. Like, it's all quiet in that movie, and a monster is like outside the door. And then from all of a sudden, the family's like, "Stay quiet, don't move." That's an alien invasion movie.
That noise was in Independence Day.
Yeah, that absolutely was. It's like an alien.
Oh, it sounds like a laser beam.
And again, these are all noises. These are totally legitimate. I just boosted the audio. Totally legitimate sounds, because there's a lot of people that have tuned in since after we've stopped doing these. So these are all legitimate noises that have come from Steve's throat. There's a few that will come from his stomach that pick up in my ears and Steve's ears that I then mark. And when I go back and download the episode later, I will edit it and boost the audio so you can hear it with a regular ear. And what you get is beautiful, beautiful music like this.
That thing, that one creeps me out. All right, here's one more. This is number 16. Yeah. Again, I don't think we
haven't played any of these.
Yeah, we haven't played any of them. We haven't played one since 9. So let's see what number 16. Oh, I like the waveform alone on this intrigues me.
Oh, see, that's a quick hitter. You're going to see some like that. So you have to determine, is the length of that worth your time?
Now, we are going to play, once we finally determine a winner, we are going to play One Shining Moment, right?
Yeah, we're going to have a montage. Because that's the way with the montage, with One Shining Moment, don't they have all the clips of the tournament, right? With this one, we're going to have us talking about, and then, yeah, that's absolutely something we're going to make.
One Shining Moment.
Yeah. Ideally, we start this in, I mean, ideally it would be next week, but that might be too soon. I think in 2 weeks, plan on the March 20th episode. So that would be the Tuesday release after the NCAA tournament starts, having 4 or maybe all 8 first-round matchups just to get us out of the first round.
Yeah.
That's the March Madness, the Steve 16 of Steve Throat Noises and Stomach Noises.
That means the board is going to have to get together and eliminate 2 of them.
Yeah, I think, and that's something that we can do. You know, if you and I listen to them separately, have a separate folder, see this one's the worst, this one's the worst, and there's audio quality. There's a lot of stuff to take into account here that we have to figure out before we jump the gun on this. But you may be looking at. Actually, no, we'd have to title them all. Maybe we get these on a shirt, Steve. Maybe we undergo a Steve 16.
Oh God, not a chance. If we have to deal with the garbage that was the T-shirt. By the way, thank you to Leigh Ann.
Oh my goodness, how did we wait this long to say? First of all, congratulations.
The shirt thing triggered. Leigh Ann had tweeted at us yesterday, just 20 hours ago, the arrival of her beautiful baby boy, Evan Charles, and there he is, all swaddled up in his little blanket. He's got his little hat on, and he is laying on a Steve and Kyle podcast T-shirt.
Yeah. Now, it's weird. I know you said Evan Charles. They must have added the second middle name of either Kyle or Steven.
Yeah. Well, I think, because, okay. Evan, 4 letters. Just like Kyle.
Yeah.
Charles, Charles.
6 for Steven. Boy, you really should go with that PH now, huh?
Son of a bitch. Swear to God, Leigh Ann and Leigh Ann's husband, if you named your child with a name that is specifically the same letters as my rival name on purpose.
We sit at the same table, and we spend time together outside of this, and we've just been labeled rivals.
No. Rival name meaning PH.
I got you. I thought you were talking about the 4-letter Evan.
No. 4-letter Evan obviously is a direct relation to 4-letter Kyle.
Yeah,
that is obvious. It's never
beautiful.
It's never been more obvious. I'm feeling like Charles, the name may have to be changed to Charles.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you think she's down for an abbreviation like Evan Charles?
How about Chuck? Steve.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Okay, so we appreciate everything, Leanne. You just need to change his name.
Yeah, Evan Chuck.
Evan Chuck. Or Chuck Evan. Chuck Evan's not bad.
Oh, Chuck Evan's good. Yeah,
Chuck Evan's not a bad name. Yeah. That guy's, you know what? Chuck Evan's selling cars when he's 18, and he owns his own. He's got his first lot by 21.
Yeah, that's like that dude. What's his name? Army Hammer.
Yeah, that's a good name.
That couldn't be a more badass name.
Chuck Evan, not bad at all.
Chuck Evan, starring Chuck Evan.
Yeah, we'll have to retweet that. Check our Twitter at Steve and Kyle.
Yeah, I'm gonna retweet
that picture is incredible. In the I don't even know what you call that. The thing that they hold a baby in after it's born.
Bassinet.
That's not a bassinet. That's like a hospital.
Well, it looks like they're just sitting them on a table or something.
It looks like he's...
that's a bassinet. You can see, yeah, you can see the plastic walls on the, like the see-through...
I thought it was one of those glass, like plexiglass enclosures that maybe they kept them in.
Oh, you're thinking like the incubator or something?
Yeah, but I don't think it's that. Okay.
No, it's a bassinet.
Yep.
And got a little... Is that an owl?
Yep.
Little stuffed owl?
Yep. That is the very first... podcast baby.
Mm-hmm.
People have a lot now. We've had Adam take our shirt everywhere.
Yeah.
We've been to the Empire State Building. We've been to all the monuments in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Adam's going to have to step it up because
you're going to have a baby.
We're now a baby swaddle. And it's going to be hard to top that. So, congratulations to Leigh Ann and her husband and family.
Yeah, baby Chuck Evan.
And thank you for... she talked about it a few times. I honestly thought there's no way she'll actually do it. Mm-hmm. Brought the Steve and Kyle podcast T-shirt.
To the
hospital. Only time I don't regret making that T-shirt is after seeing that picture.
So do you think that how many times has that in the last 20 hours has that T-shirt been vomited on?
Oh, yeah.
Or pooped on?
That thing is now a garage rag for Leigh Ann and her husband, never to be seen again in the house.
Unfortunately, it is a limited edition T-shirt. I think, would we have 100 of them printed?
No, less than that.
Oh, no, it was like
50 something.
Yeah, 50, yeah.
50 something total printed.
Yep.
If you want one, you're going to have to check eBay.
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's not a chance.
No way. If you're selling it, plan on losing every one of your dollars that you spent on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we figured out a different way to do it where we didn't have to do anything, I think that'd be the best way to approach T-shirt. But maybe we can get like a poster. Like you go into like a local restaurant and they have, hey, local high school teams basketball team with their schedule on the side. No,
right.
This one is just Steve's cartoonish face in the center from our logo. And then the Steve 16 on both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, so good luck finding one of them. There's no chance you will.
Well, you keep phrasing it like it'll never happen, Steve. It's weird.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. What do you think? Time for...
probably.
Probably about that time for the Ferocious Four.
Oh!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Crazy how that name changes every time.
The Ferocious Four. Well, I'll let you go first, just in case something
weird. I feel like I went first last week too. Is there no reason behind that?
No, definitely not.
Okay. First, Alec Baldwin.
I know he gave an interview about his portrayal of Trump on SNL.
You didn't see why it was spurred, though. He was actually,
no.
Oh yeah, the president tweeted about him randomly at 5:42 in the morning.
Oh, good. Yeah. What did the tweet say?
Now we'll come back.
Okay.
The NRA.
It's scary how much control a lobbyist organization can have.
Seems nuts.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah, very, very scary. Well, and that not just the NRA, but any other organization with that much power.
Uh-huh. Over the administration.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. O.J. Simpson.
Oh, is the juice loose? Did he do something?
No, not yet. Big news regarding big media news regarding the juice.
Oh, I can't wait. Is he reviving the acting career or something?
You'll find out after the break.
Oh.
The university, this one's a little vague, but in general, the University of Arizona, their head basketball coach, Sean Miller.
Oh, I know nothing. Man, you're stumping me this
part
week.
Of the FBI case.
Okay.
He was the one that they claimed there was a wiretap.
Okay, so he was the one that supposedly was recorded saying you need to pay whatever player it was 6 figures.
Yep.
Okay.
He is strongly refuting ESPN and might very well be in line for millions of dollars in a lawsuit.
Whoa.
Very, very possible.
So I'm assuming that the wiretap is not true?
Nobody knows.
Okay.
And lastly, didn't get a chance to catch up afterwards, so Black Panther.
Oh, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, that was the first. See, it's weird because that's technically a superhero movie.
It's a comic book superhero movie, but and I think a lot of the reviews said it as well. It didn't feel like it. It didn't feel
like a superhero movie at all. It felt more like Avatar.
Yeah,
that kind of because Avatar is not a superhero movie, but it's a
story, so removed.
It's a story about like a different, like you're in the same universe, but
there was no cameo by the Hulk. He didn't come stomping through the island. It was a pretty separated story, almost exclusively to the country of Wakanda. With a few trips out now, I know we're weeks late on it, but I enjoyed it. It didn't have the feel of a Marvel comic movie.
I thought it was good. I'm surprised that it is getting. I mean, like I said, I thought it was a very good movie. It's just surprising that it's getting such incredible reviews.
I left the same thing. I told Katie it when the three of us went and saw it. I guess I should have been more clear. You met us up there on a Thursday afternoon. I left and I said, it was good, but I don't know where this universal praise and enamoring is. Again, very good. It didn't feel like it was groundbreaking to me, and I'm sure it has different meanings to everybody. Obviously, the African American community, this is the first real superhero movie with an African American lead. I mean, you had Blade,
and majority of the cast too.
Yeah, and so again, it has different meanings for different people and different groups. And for me as a Marvel fan, it fit in perfectly, and I think he'll be a nice character. But I mean, their lead got...
So this was the first time this character has been introduced?
No, he had a cameo in the last Captain America.
Okay.
But this is his first feature film, that's the way they do it. They'll introduce a character with a cameo in a previous movie, then they'll get their own full movie type of thing. So, very good. Very good.
Yeah, I thought it was good. So
I can count you in for the Avengers.
I'll go see the Avengers, yeah. That's the thing. Every time these movies come out, I always see the previews for it, and I'm like, man, I really want to go see that movie. And I just never do for whatever reason, because I don't want the hassle of trying to go opening weekend or anything. And then by that, you wait a week or 2 weeks, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
That was funny, though, because you had sent me a text earlier that day saying, hey, just so you know, I bought row whatever, seats 13 and 15, just in case the theater is sold out. So that way chances aren't likely that somebody will buy the one ticket in between you. I was like, perfect, no problem, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to. I was busy that day. I wasn't going to be able to stop by early and buy a ticket. I didn't feel like trying to buy it online. I'm like, if I don't have to buy something, like if I don't have to fill out the whole form,
right,
enter the credit card, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I'm just going to get over there. I'll try to get over there a couple minutes early, hopefully get the ticket. So I get there, and the woman, there's the screen.
Yeah, you pick your seat.
You can pick out the seat, and I'm like, okay, well. And at first I saw the screen, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm screwed, because it's all one color except for like 5 seats.
Yeah.
Then I realized, wait a minute, the two seat. Hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, there's only 5 tickets have been sold.
Nobody there in a massive theater.
Yeah.
Massive.
Because at first I thought, oh crap, all the seats are gone.
Yeah. I think we did weekday school in to the point where nobody from school or kids could have gotten there. It was 4 o'clock. Yeah. So
I snuck my M&Ms in.
That you did.
Saved myself easily $3.
Yes, you did.
And it worked out perfectly, because the bag that I brought in was the same size bag that they sell.
Yeah.
So I didn't even have to hide it.
Made them the fool.
Made them the fool indeed. Oh, I did buy a very overpriced soft drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was only like $9 for that drink.
Sure, you refilled it like 6 times?
No.
You should have, on the way out, go fill it, dump it, like until somebody says, can you stop?
Why don't they have a refill fountain in the theater?
I don't. Oh,
that was you,
me.
Right?
Yeah, that was.
that might be an honorable mention.
That has to be played during the tournament, because
definitely.
that was big. I felt that one rumble. That was a huge rumble.
That rumbled so much that I thought it was me.
Yeah, God. Like I thought you felt it in your chest coming up. I don't know why we're not there. They have theaters now where they serve you food and beer when you're in the theater. It's got to be an interruption thing. Can you imagine in like this big dramatic movie where somebody's dying and all of a sudden, or
even if they could put it just outside of the theater door, but it's such a ripoff that they say like, oh, free refills. No one utilizes.
No, because you have to you're missing minutes of this movie that you already paid, probably more than you'd be comfortable paying.
Unless you're the person who, and I know that you get there to see all the previews. So
sometimes.
Well, unless you're the person that gets there early enough where you see 5 previews, and you finished the majority of your drink, and you still have time to run out, fill the thing up. But it's such a ripoff.
Now the theater we went to has, I'm sure they used to use them. They haven't used them in years. They had 2 other concession stands on like the sides of the theater. Their fountains still work.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, so you can use those.
Can you
there's
reach
just no,
that? Like, they're not behind the
nope,
counter?
just in front, so you fill it on your own. But I don't know if anybody even uses those. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Black Panther. Again, I think the world has seen it. You and I and my wife were probably the last three who wanted to see it. So, before that, University of Arizona and their head coach, Sean Miller. Now, they were named in the FBI ESPN story about an FBI, why can't I think of the word, investigation about corruption and fraud among coaches. ESPN reported that there was a wiretap audio of the head coach, Sean Miller, discussing a $100,000 payment for their star freshman Deontay Dayton, I want to say his name is, Deontay, whatever. That has now come out that, there may not have been actual audio of that.
It's quite an accusation to make.
Yeah, so ESPN's struggling right now with their investigative journalism. Now, Sean Miller came out with a very strong recourse before it even came out that there was no audio probably of this wiretap. Calling ESPN names, essentially saying that this is patently untrue. He very well may be in line to sue ESPN now for millions of dollars worth of libel. Mm-hmm. And win.
And he deserves it.
And win.
He absolutely deserves it.
This guy very well could have lost his job.
So he
still might.
So but as of right now,
still employed.
Okay.
And kind of like a real star young head coach. Came from Dayton, coached the Dayton Flyers for a while. Very good head coach. Still might lose his job, which would only exacerbate things for ESPN.
Yeah.
So ESPN's struggling a little bit. They, in their Michigan State investigation, in their Outside the Lines piece, they did some follow-ups that had very, very questionable journalism, and now they keep following up with publishing names of players, like a freshman walk-on basketball player being investigated for sexual assault, but no charges have been filed. Published his name. Some issues going on there ethically, I think, that could cause them, honestly, very, very big heartache in the future.
A ton of money.
Yep.
Ton of money, too.
Nuts. That thing's so wide-ranging. Until we get an official FBI, like, hey, indictment, just hold off.
Yeah.
Just don't publish that.
Yeah, gather all the facts first.
Before that, O.J. Simpson, he's been free. How long? He's been free for a while, right? 6 months?
I think it was...
parole.
Yeah, I want to say it was August.
Okay, so about 6 months.
6-7 months.
Now, apparently, before he went to prison for the robbery and kidnapping, he filmed a TV special for his book that he wrote, If I Did It, a hypothetical confession, which everybody says, oh, he absolutely did it. This is how he did it.
Yeah.
He filmed a sit-down interview that, after much pressure, I think it was Fox, decided not to air it. They decided they're going to air it.
Okay, so this was filmed, 10 years ago?
15 years ago.
Because he was in prison
from 2006 to 2017, he was in prison.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think it was 06. Maybe it was later.
I thought it was like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, you might be right. But yeah, so the only leaks about, or tidbits about this interview, but one of the ones is how he starts talking in third person, and then before you know it, he's speaking in first person about it. And one of the bigger bombshells was he claimed if he did it, there was an accomplice there to help him.
Okay.
So kudos for airing it.
This is so weird.
It's weird, right? So this is a guy who, in the public eye, I guess I can't say, maybe got away with a double murder. Right?
I would say that a lot of people
the majority of the public thinks that O.J. Simpson got away with double murder.
Personally, I think he did.
Absolutely. This guy wrote a book hypothesizing, because he needed money, hypothesizing if he did it, this is how he would have done it.
What I don't understand, though, is that any money that he makes
goes to the Goldmans.
He owes to the Goldmans. So what is his reasoning for, like, when he wrote that book, he knew that any money he made off of it was going to the Goldmans.
I wonder if there's a percentage of it that went to the Goldmans.
Oh, I think that because he owes them like $33 million or something.
Yeah, that they'll never see.
Is he thinking that, like, is his way of thinking, okay, well, I'm going to make $50 million off this book, so yeah, take the first $33 million and bam, I'm in the clear.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, now I'm...
Maybe, but then the Goldmans were able to sue, stop the release of that book, release it with under their own name, change the title of it, or made the "if" like a size 4 font, and receive the profits from that. But I don't know the motivation behind, I think, Fox or whatever news organization releasing this interview now. But hey,
I'm interested.
I'm interested, right?
I want
to.
So when does this air?
I want to say it's tonight, which is obviously too late for everybody listening. But I want to say it's this week or next, or maybe Sunday, March 11, because tonight is the Oscars.
Okay, yeah.
So they're probably going to do it next Sunday. Let me see. I don't know for sure, but yeah, it's definitely coming up. So keep your eyes out for that. That's entertaining, right?
Yeah.
And it's sad because it's entertainment about. I mean, the Browns aren't entertained.
No.
The Goldmans aren't entertained.
Nope.
This is heart-wrenching that it has to be brought up again, but it's a ratings juggernaut to have this in the pipe.
Isn't it crazy that 20 years later, O.J. Simpson is still getting ratings?
Yeah, Sunday, March 11, by the way. The special will air.
Nice.
Before that, the NRA. Mm-hmm. There was, seems after the shooting, after the town hall with the Parkland, Florida students that Donald Trump was sitting at, had a change of, maybe not a full change of heart, but talked about banning bump stocks and changing the age for assault rifles.
Yeah.
Had a Oval Office meeting with the NRA, and his most recent tweet, "No gun control!" ! So you are not looking at a bipartisan agreement for any gun control. Gun control is going to have to come, it seems like, from these kids making an absolute stand and a congressional move probably after the November elections.
I was talking to Annette about this the other night, and I was saying that I hope that these kids are going to be the face of change in the country.
Which is crazy that they have to be.
It's crazy that they have to be because they should just be able to be high school students.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to be campaigning for the right to not die in school.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy that is even a thing. But I think that 15, 20 years from now, these are going to be the people that are going to be the elected officials. I hope that they are.
Right.
I hope that they are, that they have the perseverance to follow through.
Yeah.
Because a 16-year-old kid, like, I remember how quickly my interests changed and how quickly I got bored of things.
Yeah. Even in your 20s, you bought a jet ski for a year.
That's true. 3 years.
Yeah. So sorry, I didn't want to shortchange you. But yeah, no, it's the focus and them organizing a walkout is a tremendous like
I said, I hope that they stick with it.
Yeah.
Because I think that they will eventually be the ones to make some real change.
Right. But more important, with the NRA as a whole, obviously companies cutting ties with their discount programs for the NRA. Delta Airlines is the most notable one, just because the Georgia State Congress or whatever passed a law essentially reprimanding and making it worse for Delta, which Delta's hub is in Atlanta, Georgia, because they cut ties with the NRA. So if you want to know how deep the NRA as a lobby runs, look at a state house and a state senate reprimanding a private business for cutting a discount program.
Yeah, how's that possible?
Weird, right? Yeah. First, Alec Baldwin somehow randomly brought in the news this Sunday, or forget what morning this week. Tweet from Donald Trump at 5:42 in the morning saying Alex Baldwin and his dying career, DIEING career. Essentially,
so he's started a career in like dyeing hair.
Yeah, and he essentially derided him for his portrayal of Donald Trump. Oh, because it was after the interview, said it was like hell portraying Trump, something like that. So Trump tweeted about it and said, "Bring back Daryl Hammond was much funnier anyway." So that tweet lasted a couple minutes before I'm assuming somebody on staff deleted it and typed it out, no doubt under his direction with the grammar fixed. 5:42 in the morning, this guy is up tweeting about Alec Baldwin. Unbelievable.
Imagine being that staffer who has to be, Mr. President,
yeah.
In your 8-word tweet, you had 9 misspellings.
Bring me a Big Mac. Unbelievable, man. Yeah. It's just, you know what? I don't think
it's idiocracy.
As divisive as he is, I think it is fair to say if he did not tweet, if he never tweeted, if the only tweets came from a staffer, he didn't have control of it, didn't have a phone, I think he would be hated probably 30% less.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think the majority of the country would dislike him.
Yeah,
but it would just be his policies that people would dislike him for, instead of him taking a shot at Alex Baldwin. And
well, unfortunately, a lot of people. I mean, if you ask a lot of people, I'm sure that they will tell you that their number one news source is Twitter. So if that's what you're looking at, that's the only news you're getting.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
This is nuts. Oh my God, it's crazy.
Was that it?
That's it. That's all 5.
Fast 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We actually have kind of 2 overlapping ones. I'm up to 5, by the way.
Hey,
got my 5th one.
All it took was me talking for about 12 minutes.
Got my 5th one, but it's completely unrelated from everything you talked about, and I don't really know much about it either.
Oh, good. So you're looking for details.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Good.
It's more of a fishing outing.
Sure.
Okay, first one, CMU shooting.
Yeah,
that's crazy, right?
Yeah, it sounds like protocol and everything was handled properly, but can you imagine being a student there or anybody there and being locked down for 12 hours not knowing essentially what's going on?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That was what, on Friday?
Yeah.
Thursday. Okay.
Thursday or Friday, yeah.
Next, NRA.
Maybe the tide's turning.
Maybe
the tide turns against them.
Okay, coming up, next one. Tonight, the Oscars.
Oh, I'm excited. You know, they kind of snuck up on me, but I enjoy watching. I like Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm excited for the monologue, though.
Does he bow out of that?
He's only done it 2 years in a row, I think.
Really? I thought he had done it.
I think as long as they're on ABC, you use your own people, kind of, because it makes sense. You can promote your own product.
It seems like hosting those event shows. Actually, we'll get to it coming up next.
Yeah, looking forward to it though.
Next, 4th on my list, it's actually a quote. It is, quote, "Take the guns first, go through due process second."
What an idiotic statement.
What side is he on?
He can't decide.
Because like you said, he had the no gun control quote.
Yeah. Yeah, and I my gut tells me I think he misspoke.
Okay, and finally, Nor'easter.
Big deal. Glad we missed it.
Yeah.
My goodness, we had now I know the east side of our fair state here, Steve, got hit pretty good
got a bunch
on
of snow,
Thursday.
right?
Yeah, snow mixed in with rain, which froze. It was bad. We got a light sprinkle.
We got some rain.
But yeah, I heard Pennsylvania as a whole got just blasted.
I could show you torturous pictures from my brother's house.
Oh, I kind of want to see him because I want to laugh.
He lost a piece of siding.
Oh, boy. I want to laugh in his stupid face.
Still bitter about
the Eagles game and then the cigar thing. We need to get him on the phone. We need to get to the bottom of that because he claims there's a story about why he couldn't get us a cigar. He tried, which should reduce my ire. But the fact is, I still don't have the Arturo Fuente Don Carlos Eye of the Shark smoking outside of your house in a bathrobe while recording a podcast. That's the straight facts.
Now, what if he told you that he got the cigars but then gave them to Joey?
Well, I'd have some concerns that his young son is smoking a cigar. But I think more importantly, that rivalry would be so reignited.
Yeah. Well,
I would start taking videos. He did say that
the Lions are very, very bad.
I would start taking videos of things I can do that he can't, like touch a rim.
Just reach things off of
high
shelves.
Oh, boy, look at this tall cabinet. Yeah. Bummer for you, Joey.
Yeah. Use a grill.
That's what it would take. If your nephew's smoking one of my Arturo Fuente Don Carlos Eye of the Sharks.
Oh, please, post that video.
That's what it would take to reignite. Just like a puff, a smoke, and a middle finger. That's the whole video.
All right, before Nor'easter, we had the quote from our president, "Take the guns first, go through due process second." I don't understand the context of that. I mean, I watched the clip.
That had to send the Republicans and the NRA into a frenzy, into a huge tizzy.
Right, because take that for what it's worth, he's advocating for rounding up guns and taking them away from...
Which is like what Australia did.
Right.
And they compensate you for it, for the gun that you turn in, but it's obvious he misspoke or didn't mean what he said.
Well, and a lot of people on the other side of the aisle are like, yeah!
You got it, man.
which is just as bad.
Yeah.
Because then you're saying that you shouldn't have to go through due process.
It's unbelievable.
Which is, it's like the pendulum swung from one extreme, give everybody guns, to the complete opposite extreme, take them all away, deal with the details later.
Yeah.
No, neither of them is right.
I would bet the house that he said it backward.
So you think he meant
due process first, then we'll get the guns. So essentially
I don't
saying,
think so.
let whatever happens, then we'll take their guns.
I don't think so. I don't think he meant
It's
that.
crazy that we need to dissect this.
Because that is such it's such an important thing.
Yeah. Nothing's going to change. Like you said, the follow-up tweet after a meeting with the NRA, where no doubt the NRA slapped him on the wrist, maybe even bent him over the table and spanked him like a child. He sang like a canary right around to their tune, and we're right back to where we were.
Yeah.
Right back to where we were, where the majority of the country agrees that at least a mental health check should be required, as well as a full background check, as well as whatever waiting period, et cetera, et cetera. We're still at the point where the majority of the country thinks that, but the NRA is so deep with their money that they think they can just keep paying their way out of it.
When you start seeing those posts from people that says like it requires more work to buy cough medicine than it does to buy a gun.
Yeah.
You can't and look, I'm all for legal gun ownership.
Have them, man. Go ahead.
Up to a certain extent. I don't believe that you should have the ability to buy automatic or semi. I don't think you can't buy anything automatic, but like
semi-automatic.
I don't think you should be able to own a semi-automatic weapon.
And
look, and if you disagree with that, that's perfectly fine. That's just one thing that we disagree on. I don't see a need for it. I understand that they're Second Amendment. I get it.
Sure,
I get it. But like when that whole Constitution thing was written,
it's a musket.
Well, yeah, and they were also cool with like slavery back then, and not allowing people of color and women
to do anything.
Do anything.
That's okay.
We've changed that. Yeah. So it's you can't stand behind the Second Amendment and say it's on paper. It's
hang on to that piece of parchment from 1700s.
That's fine. They didn't have all the answers 250 years ago.
Right.
It's okay. They didn't. There are certain things they probably didn't foresee. But But hey,
going well.
Blood's not on my hands.
Yep, absolutely.
Before that, we had the Oscars. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. Like again, I with the Golden Globes and stuff, I tune in for a little bit of the red carpet and listen to the interviews, but and obviously that was very public because that was a different vibe with the Time's Up movement, and I don't know if I'm interested in that again because it's going to be similar, as well as the monologue. Because I do like Jimmy Kimmel, but I think I could only take so many set him up and knock him down Trump jokes and Harvey Weinstein jokes that get a groan.
Yeah.
That before you know what, man, that's 5 months old.
I think the whole idea of the monologue, like the late night TV show monologue, is definitely outdated.
Especially because the jokes kind of suck because they have to cater to all these different types of audiences. It's not for me. And again, with this, it's just... It's going to be Jimmy Kimmel pandering to a celebrity audience.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
all it is.
He's pandering to an audience that... Yeah, exactly. There's not one person in that room that doesn't agree with everything
Maybe
he's going to say.
Gibson.
You think?
Yeah, Harrison Ford. Like those are the more public. But even so, I don't know if Mel Gibson's there because he's an anti-Semite.
What about like Clint Eastwood?
Clint Eastwood probably on death's door. He's been there for 20 years. He's probably not going to be there.
Yeah.
He had the talking to the chair moment at the convention 2 years ago or whatever that was.
I forgot about the chair.
That was like 6 years ago. That was 2012 if I remember.
Yeah, because that was at the RNC when I was actually
Joe and
I was there. I wasn't in the room for that.
I feel like you watch it.
Probably 2 miles away behind a barricade.
If you're ever single again, that's your pickup line. Remember when Clint Eastwood talked to the chair? Yeah, I was there.
That's right. No big deal, right?
No big deal.
No big deal at all. And the NRA before that, so basically...
Talked about that extensively.
Pretty much had that covered. And then before that, the CMU shooting. That was definitely national news.
Yeah.
It broke nationally on Friday. a man at CMU, Central Michigan University, just an hour and a half, 2 hours from where we are right now. He was, the night before, was in custody, or he was in some kind of mental health...
Right. For a drug overdose, if I recall, or something with drug-related issues.
He was released Friday morning, went to his dorm, and his parents came to pick him up.
Yeah, like move him out. So he was either being
or it's
kicked out of school or spring break,
pick
something
him up
like
for
that.
spring break. And he shot and killed them. Now, was that in the dorm?
Yeah, fourth floor.
Shot and killed them in the dorm, and then took off on foot and a massive manhunt. Finally, they found him late that night or early the next morning. They found this guy. But, yeah, the whole university was on lockdown for about 12 hours.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law and brother-in-law both teach at that university. That was the first we knew about it because we got a text from Annette's sister saying, hey, just so you know, at that point they thought it was an active shooter situation. She said, yeah, there's an active shooter. We're safe. We're at home. But, yeah, they heard the helicopters buzzing around all day and all night.
That's crazy. And then they finally found him. And last I checked, he was still in the hospital again.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Well, probably needs to be there.
It's kind of, man, I don't know. Nuts. What?
Yeah. Yeah, what else do you say? I mean, it's
but, what? You gotta...
Why does that always happen?
I don't know, can you pull it up? I did it last time. Can you quick Google one? Like the joke of the day.
Okay,
Hit me with one. I mean, I wish we had like a wacky music bed or something, but... Yeah, joke of the day. Whenever we end up, maybe I need.
I got something for you.
Yeah,
I got 25 jokes to celebrate National Tell a Joke Day.
All I need is one.
All right.
Pick one.
Hold on.
I'm so excited.
Just give me a minute here.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I don't like that one.
You know, so you're going through the fine tooth comb because you don't want to give me a dud. Oh, you're ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Hit me. Oh boy, I'm excited.
I mean, I'm just going to drop this in like a regular
okay, so hang on, like we're talking. So yeah, stay tuned. You know, in a week or two, Steve, for the March Madness of Steve sounds.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Kyle, why did the Clydesdale give the pony a glass of water?
What? Why, Steve? Why?
Because he was a little horse.
Hey,
a little horse. By the way, second time ponies were referenced on
yeah, how does that
on
happen?
This episode.
Incredible.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, what do you call a fish without eyes?
Oh boy, what?
Fish.
There you go. That's how you end an episode, Steve. Hit that music. Need to do a better job at our number ones. Our number ones, because that's the last thing we talk about, needs to be happy or just not devastatingly sad.
Yeah. Like my number one is just going to be smiles.
Yeah, my next week number one's going to be mass genocide. Just see what your thoughts are on that.
All right. Well, another episode in the books.
The Holocaust.
You can download, subscribe, and review the show on iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, StephenKyle.Libsyn, LIBSYN.com, on Twitter at Stephen Kyle, Facebook.com/Stephen Kyle. And from the Twitter account at Stephen Kyle, you can also get to both of us individually. Thank a lot of Twitter activity in the last week, especially with Leigh Ann. Congratulations again, Leigh Ann, on Chuck Evan, your little baby boy.
Yep.
Not to be confused with Evan Charles.
Yeah, but who would name a kid that?
No, terrible, absolutely terrible. Guess that's it, right?
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah, March Madness coming up soon.
Yeah, we'll have an
update on softball by next week because we don't have a choice. Money has to be in.
Yeah. I'm just going to tell you that there were a lot of updates.
I'm seeing it. I'm looking at it right now.
A lot of things popping up on that Facebook message since last week. So you're welcome. You are welcome. Well,
sure.
Are you still hearing me? Because everything's cutting out.
I am hearing you.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to end it right now because my headphones stopped working. I'm very confused.
See you next week.
See ya.